What's going on, guys? Who's in here? Let me see. 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 Can you guys hear me? Everybody hear me?
I thought as much.
Siri hears me. What's going on, everyone? Okay. Who's all in here? I see Marley. I see Oliver. I see a lot of people. Oh, we got a question. Question time. All good with the sound. There we go. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've been out for the count lately. Lots going on. It's really hard to keep up with time management if you don't properly manage your time. Funny how that works, huh? All right, let's see what we got. So I started the webinar early at 9:30 instead of right at 10. That way we can just dive into some pairs and do some market analysis before a candle, the new 4-hour candle opens. So do me a favor and write in some pairs. I'm gonna go ahead and open up a bunch of trading view stuff. Oops. I'm gonna open up a bunch of trading view tabs. The reason is I'm just gonna put a bunch of pairs up so we can just go through pairs, right? We got 30 minutes. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. I think that can be enough. We'll put some pairs up and we'll probably have the same pairs after you write in there. But you can see I'm just going to start going ahead and typing in. Let's go trading view. How's everyone doing? I can't hear you, but if you guys want, if someone wants to talk, I can unmute you if you want to talk. Just let me know if you want to talk. Okay. This is some other stuff. Okay. All right. Boom chart. Boom chart. Boom chart. Boom chart. Boom chart. Okay. We're running a little slow. The charts are running a little slow. Euro Jappy. GBP. I mean, I don't know if GBP USD is a good pair to trade right now. What else do we got? CAD USD. Let me see what you guys said. Uh-oh, where'd you guys go? Nothing. Nobody wrote anything? What pairs do you guys want to look at? Nobody wrote anything. Are you serious? What's wrong with you guys? I'm about to end this webinar. No participation or what? You guys don't want to talk? It's all good. It's all good. No one wants to talk. I get it. Oh, there we go. Okay, UJ, of course. GJ. Okay, UJ. A lot of UJs. I only trade UJ, me too, mainly. Okay, so I'm good then. I'm good. I'm just going to go with what I got. All right, so what do we got? UJ's already dropping. I saw that coming. There's another 50 EMA tap. Already near what my profit target would be, 10 pips. Anyways, okay, so let's go through it. We got, let me just pop up the 4 hour on everything. So we got EU, right? We got EU, EJ, GU. These are all pretty much like the standard pairs that I like. USD CAD. Never really trade it, but I popped it up anyways. A couple other ones. I don't really know what else to put. GBP Jappy, right? Someone said GBP Jappy. Let's just put CAD Jappy up too. I don't trade CAD Jappy at all. Actually, I traded it one time. Okay. Let's see if we got anything, right? We might not have anything. Let's go straight to the 4 hour on UJ. Let's see what we got. All right, so it's NFP week. Anything goes, right? But what do we have? So, of course, with UJ, like this is not a typical like Wick Fill that I would ever trade. The reason is we would have. Are you kidding me? We would have the higher high on the 4 hour, right? We drop down. This would make the new LL, lowest low. And this time, potential higher low overall. But if we're looking for possible trend change or continuation of momentum, then I would have saw this, or I did see this. I didn't even trade it today yet. I would have saw this. So a potential lower high, which means it can potentially keep dropping down. This is not a setup I would ever take. This is not something I would ever look for if I'm looking just for a wick fill. If I were to go down to my 15-minute or my 5-minute or whatever, then it definitely I would have been looking for entry more on the 15-minute. I would have been looking for higher highs, lower lows, etc. This in particular right here, like by 7:45, this would have been like my ideal setup. I would have hunted, and then you could see it drop 13, just a bearish engulfing. So where do you think the momentum's going? Well, obviously to fill this wick, right? In that time frame. Let's look at EU. I don't see much activity for UJ I don't see a lot of clean activity. We do have 21 minutes until this candle closes, so anything can happen in those 20 minutes. We have potential continuation of just momentum, right? We did have EMA cross. Anything can happen right now, right? If we put up some trend lines, I mean the trend lines are not. I don't really like this. This is not like a nice consolidation box because there's not a lot of wicks. A nice consolidation box will throw a lot of wicks up on both support and resistance areas. Don't like it. This is not like a consolidation that I would be looking for. So this is something that I would not particularly want to even be in. I would not even want to be looking at UJ right now just because if I'm looking for 4 hour continuation of momentum, I've got nothing. I've got nothing clean. Now, if price was to have pulled down bearish super hard and then pull back and leave us off, I would say that we're going to continue wick fill going bearish, but there's nothing. So let's just wait for 20 minutes, see if anything happens. At the moment, I don't see anything on EU either. Because the way EU is looking, it's looking we got lower low, right? And then we got higher high, then we got higher low for 2-1 trend change. And then what do we got? Another higher high. So 2-2 confirm, right? Lower low, higher high, higher low. The reason why this is the new higher low is because we have a bearish candle. So it becomes that like higher low. And you can see we got that rejection, right? We blow past resistance, right? We go back to this resistance zone, rejection. We go back to this resistance, now turn support, a new higher low, and then a new higher high, new higher low. So now we've got a potential new higher high, potential higher low, or we could have a bearish wick fill. But I would say that we've got a lot of momentum to potentially be pushing up. But these types of setups I don't like. Just because it's either up or down. It's not like a confirm, like, hey, we're going straight down. But if we were going to look at the 15-minute time frame, hypothetically, we can definitely see that we had look at the EMA distance, first of all. You see how we have so much EMA distance here? That's usually a pretty dang good sign that we're going to continue pushing on to the upside, right? Like you can see all this. But let's look at the 4 hour and let's drop our zone so we can see if we've hit like zones. We want to see if we've hit some zones, right? Let's look left. Obviously, hit a major zone, right? So there's obviously time for retracement. There's obviously time for retracement. If we look at these supply and demand, support and resistance areas. So if we are going bullish, then there is a great possibility that we could have a retracement before the push. The daily candle I do not care about because the new daily is not open. But you can see that there is a lot of momentum. We could come up here and make a triple top, right? Triple top, decide the direction. Look at this daily wick fill though yesterday, right when the new daily candle opened. Perfect wick fill. How many pips was that? Who traded? I'm pretty sure a lot of you traded EU yesterday. Look at that. 61 pips in one day. That's a lot of pips. That's a retirement project right there. Let's see what else we got. So EU, not 100% clean, but there is potential for bearish activity right now to at least come back down, possibly hit this zone. We might create a consolidation box because we did do like a 2-1 confirm looking thing here at higher high, lower low, lower high for 2-1 bearish. But if I was looking for 2-1, my entries would have been here. And then, of course, my profit target would have been in and out, stop loss and profit, whatever. But I would have been done. This would have been my setup. Let's look at EJ. Let's see what EJ's got. EJ doesn't have much either. It's looking like EU a little bit. It's NFP week, of course. Potential wick to go fill, but this looks like rejection. We're closing above this resistance here, as you can see, right? So what does that tell me? That we can make another higher low to keep going bullish because we have this whole wick range area that we can fill, this whole wick range area that we can fill. I don't like it in particularly. I don't like EJ. Let's look at what it's doing on the 15-minute. So all the momentum and moves happened this morning, right? So this is why I trade the morning. Look at what we had. 2-2 confirm, 15-minute, right? So this is at 4:45. I'm not awake at this time, but we do have this. Then we have a pullback, so it makes a lower high for 2-1. Drop, another pullback, so that's 2-2. So it's like 1, 2. Well, that's ugly. 1, 2, 1. So it's higher high, lower low, lower high, 2-1, lower low, lower high, 2-2 confirm. We're going down. And then you can obviously see right at 6 a.m., like the time that I like to trade, by 6:15, you can just see that we have bearish activity for wick fill. And let's see how many pips it went down. In and out. 31 pips done. That's one candle pretty much. One candle dropped 20 pips. I don't know how many more pips you want in a trade. If you're scalping, then 20. That's a lot. Oops. Let me go back to EJ. But if we're looking at EJ, we just have consolidation, to be honest. I'm not seeing a lot of activity because the 4-hour time frame is not telling me any clean activity. Don't like it. Let's look at GU. GU's got a little bit of a nicer setup just with this huge rejection here for continuation of momentum. But the same as the other pairs, right? What is the 4-hour doing? The 4-hour is making higher highs and higher lows, right? See how it's just making higher highs and higher lows? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Break resistance again, new higher high, retest resistance, now turn support, higher low. Boom. So we do have potential, another higher high. But what's really nice about this pair is we have touched this nice little zone here. So by touching this nice zone, we do have that nice retracement. Let's look at what that 15-minute time frame did. Lower high, lower low, 2-1 confirm, right at 6 a.m. Here's the 6 by 6:15 push. Another lower high, lower low, right? GU, huge momentum all morning for just bearish. Just lower lows and lower highs. Now, GU has, this is what a 2-1 confirm is. So this is a lower low, and now we have a higher low. It failed to break, so this becomes like a 2-1, right? So I would say that price is probably going to come to this level. If it breaks that level, then it has a lot of other levels to go to. When I don't have direction, I don't trade. So I would not be looking to just jump in this, but I would not be surprised if this continued pushing bullish, because this is what a 2-1 confirm looks like. We did have a 50 EMA tap. We have all of this range that we can go and retest to go in the direction that price wants to go. Because if we look at GU, we could, if GU pulls back really heavily, I would say that we're going to maybe have a wick to go fill going bearish. So this being a 2-1 confirm here, we might come up here, leave a huge wick, right? We might come up here, just drop down, leave a huge wick, and then continue bearish. So I would say that if we're looking at 4-hour time frame, I would say that this, in the next 12 minutes, potentially could make a nice retracement for a wick to go fill. How far down? I don't know. Just because of the 4-hour making higher highs and higher lows. And if we're going to continue into the bullish momentum, we're definitely going to go to these other wick areas here. Let's see what the daily did. The daily is just making a huge rally. Huge rally. I would not be surprised to see this level today. I didn't even look at news. Do we have news today? At all? Let's look. Well, I have coffee sitting in front of me and I'm not drinking it. What's wrong with me? Tuesday. So we've got 430 AUD. Nothing for any pairs I have up. Let's put up AUD pair, huh? Oh, I already put CAD JAPY up. Okay, so GBP USD. Let's go to USD CAD. Man, everything is just not looking 100% pretty right now. So USD CAD, what does this look like? This looks like we have the higher high. Right? The highest high. Huge rejection. When we have huge rejection like this, it's definitely signs of bearish activity. And then what do we got now? We got the new LL. Low slow. And what does this look like it could potentially be? Lower high. I see definite bearish activity for USD CAD. I see it can definitely pull up to a range, but this looks like a definite 2-1 4-hour confirm. See what the daily did. Super strong momentum. Probably going to keep pulling down. Let's see what the 15-minute time frame. The 15-minute must have had a huge drop all morning. Early morning. I'm not even awake. Oh, there must have been news, huh? That's a huge push. Nasty consolidation here. By 6. This is nothing I in particularly like. Although by 8, it looks like we have 2-2 confirm, but it's just ugly. It's not like a pretty 2-2 that I like to look at. But after seeing this EMA distance here, after the cross, we had the cross, huge rejection. We're gonna pull down to the low side. I would say that even entering sells now would not be a bad idea. With stop loss range probably around this area. This would potentially be my stop loss range if I was entering sells here, because this is the recent. So I would look for a stop loss around this at the top of this wick range just to give breathing room, because we might tap like that 50 EMA and keep going down. But if you look at the 4-hour, we definitely have just like a lower high now to continue going bearish. Let's look at GJ. 4-hour. Okay, 4-hour. See, nothing's looking that pretty, to be honest. Potential 4-hour wick fill, but then could be rejection to go bullish. Let's look at the 15. So definite. Look at that. Look how crazy UJ is. So by 6:15 again, look, after a 2-1 confirm, now we had wick to go fill. Early morning. This is why I like those early morning pushes. Look at one candle. 27 pips. Done for the day. Done for the day. Amazing. That was just by 6:30. After the 6:15 candle pulled down, left the wick to go fill with momentum. We had the highest high. We had the lowest low. We had the lowest high. So higher high, lower low, lower high, boom, bearish. And then you can see what did it do? It hit the 50 and then made a 2-1, right? So now we have the lowest low, higher high. Look at the rejection, new higher low for now bullish. So if you're doing like hyper scalps or whatnot, 20 pips again. There's like never a missed opportunity. Like if he missed the bearish drop, then there could have been a bullish jump. Just never a missed opportunity. But with GJ, I don't see like super clear momentum either. This could be a higher low to keep pushing up to the upside. This can also be a wick to go fill. But this is not like a momentum wick to go fill. Like as this one is a momentum wick to go fill, right? Like we close on support. Now the following candle drops. So for the Asian market 4-hour candle, you can see just follows the momentum, right? And we fill the wick. The wick gets filled after the momentum. There is not 100% clear momentum on this pair either. I'm not really seeing a lot of momentum today, guys. Just going to be straight honest with you. This looks like we can have another 2-1. Having the lowest point, new higher point, new higher low. We might come down to retest the area and then continue going bull. We've been in a major downtrend for a very long time on CAD Jappy. Very long time. How many pips did this drop since? Since the 5th of February? Jeez. Are you kidding me? That is unbelievable. Since 2-4, we literally have dropped 700 pips. That's a retirement right there. Full margin. What do we got? Potential higher low. Let's see what the 15-minute time frame was doing. Just sparked this nice EMA gap. I definitely see that CAD Jappy can definitely go into the bullish side. I definitely could see CAD Jappy going to the bullish side. Absolutely. Here's a nice 2-1 here by 8. Of course, like we have these higher highs, right? But then huge rejection and then a small pullback. This was a lower high here for 2-1. Bearish activity. 15 pips. Profit target well exceeded with my 10 pip. Then rejection, huge retrace, then drop again. But that's why I go for 10 pips, because you just take what the market can give you. Unless you're in a planning for a swing. I'm not a good swing trader, I'll tell you that much. I see 10 pips and I pull, then it goes 60 more pips. Like this CAD Jappy. Like I traded, where's CAD Jappy at? I traded CAD Jappy literally one time. One time. Literally one time. And this was my notes. So if my notes were way up here, that means that price was around here. I probably had sell entry somewhere. If I would have held that swing, that would have been a nice, even on like 10-cent lots, that could have been a lot of money, right? Look at that. Unbelievable. What did that daily leave us off with? I just want to look at it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start trading CAD Jappy. Look how pretty that is. Look how pretty that is. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can definitely see some bullish activity on CAD Jappy. I can definitely see some retracement going after this huge drop. Definitely. With the new 2-1 confirm here for bullish momentum. Potential range before keep pushing. Who knows? Let me go into the group and see what you guys have said. If I got any more questions. I only trade UJ. Okay, let's see. We'll see what Chris says. Looks like it's going to be at least 105.9. For UJ, probably. Let me go look. Yeah, 4 hours not looking clean. Chris, 15-minute. It has quite spiked a bit today. Oliver, yup. GU may be going up. Let me go and look at GU again. Hugo, what's up, Hugo? Yeah, I just looked at EJ. Just looked at EJ. Let me go back to the chart now. But anyways, guys, this is what my mind goes through. This is what my mind goes through when I'm looking for like 4-hour wick fills. Like I get on and I look for a wick fill, like just like that. This is how I get on and I look for a wick fill. If I don't like anything, I'll just wait. Right? Like I'll literally just wait until the next 4-hour candle, which is at 2. Literally. Oh, look at Cat Jappy. Look at the launch. Look at the launch. Look at the launch. Huge. NFP week. Watch, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen right now. Price is going to launch up super high, and then guess where it's going to go? Right back down. Because now we have this huge consolidation box, right? This is exactly what's going to happen. Supply and demand. If I can find the freaking rectangle. So we've already tapped this area twice, right? So this is what's going to happen. This is going to come all the way up here. It's probably going to do it in one candle. Literally. Oh, what happened? Let me go back. Right? We have still 2 minutes left. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Watch. Let's look at the 1 minute. Let's see where we're going. It's huge. Canadian dollar is gaining a lot of strength right now, huh? This is what's going to happen. We're going to have a huge spike right now, and then it's just going to drop, and then it's probably going to range and then continue going bull. But we knew from that 4 hour, this is why you wait for candles to close, but huge momentum. Maybe now we're going to go fill this wick. Now we're going to go and fill this wick again. Because it looks like we tried to fill the wick, and then we definitely went all the way up, tried to fill the wick, then we came bearish again, and then now we're going to go and try to fill the wick again for the bullish momentum. But damn, look at this sucker. Look, we're already up 25 pips since we've been talking. Literally already been up 25 pips. Buying support. Right? Buy support, sell resistance. Boom, tap, tap, tap. Look at all this strong support right here. Failed to break. So what do? You buy support. 25 pips. Would have been done for the day. That's it. Stack 5 to 10 positions. Done. 200, 300. Easy amount of pips. Just like that. Buying support. What time is it? It's about to be 10 o'clock. So we're going to have a huge bullish push, or then we're just going to drop back down in range probably. Just watch. Now we've got... Remember what I said earlier about the consolidation boxes, right? We need wicks. We need wicks. If it's going to consolidate, you need wicks. Even this, I don't like the amount of wicks. We're probably going to come back down here and leave more wicks. Because we're going to launch, just like I said. Oh, there it goes. Just watch. Just wait for it. We're going to come up here. We're going to come up here, and we're just going to drop for the next, for right at 10. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Because now we have, what do we got now? The wick being filled. Let's go look at other pairs real quick. Let's just look at what UJ did. Oh, everything just launched. What is going on? Oh, look at UJ 2-1. Lowest low, right? New higher high. New higher low for 2-1 confirm UJ. Boom, boom, boom. What about EU? EU is making a nice drop still. EJ, oh my gosh. Everything is just launching right now. What did I say earlier that made the 2-1 confirm? What pair was that? Was that USD CAD? Now the new 4 hour candle open. No? Was it GJ? I don't remember which one it was. I don't remember which one it was. Alright, so CAD Jappy just opened. Let's look at CAD Jappy. Huge bullish engulfing. I thought we would have came up here and tapped this again. See what that 1 minute is doing. Retracement back down or what? Boom, there she goes. Actually, this could be a really good opportunity also for if we're going to keep pushing into momentum for buys. But not my ideal trade. Not my ideal trade. But following momentum, now we can definitely see like, well, if we're going to follow the momentum. But we do have this, see this wick range down here? We definitely could come down here and range and just like tap this area. But as we said earlier, that the CAD Jappy has been in such a downtrend that I definitely see that momentum push for bullish. To just this was the cross. Here's our momentum drop. Here's just our consolidation range. Our consolidation range, and then we're gonna want to break this. We're gonna want to break this and go to the next levels. That would be my assumption. That would be my assumption. Let's go look at some 4-hour candles right now. Let's go look at GBP USD. Nothing pretty. Actually, here's the thing. When we have a super strong rejection like this, that could definitely still mean that we're gonna go down. If we look at the 15 time frame, we potentially will come back down here before going down. Or we do have the cross, the 50 EMA rejection to keep going to retest this area. What about USD CAD? 4-hour time frame. See this 4-hour time frame on USD CAD? Drop, drop. Potentially can come and see this. I don't like these trades as much, just because when I see this can come down and reject again on this 4-hour, we can come down and reject again and just go through a consolidation, and then by the time the new 4-hour candle opens for Asian, it could like come up and then make an actual lower high before going down. So when I see like rejection and rejection like this, a lot of the times I don't like it as much because it might be a bullish, it might be fake out and then keep going up. But this is a very, very big EMA distance. See the distance between these EMAs? Very, very, very good sign. Huge distance. Very good sign. After a bearish engulfing right here, let's see how many pips we're up. Already 7 pips since the 4-hour candle open. Going for a 4-hour wick fill, huh? On USD CAD. I don't know if it would go all the way. Let's look at GJ. What did GJ do? Higher high, higher low, price close, no wick. 2-1 confirm. 2-1 confirm. 30 pips. That's insane. GJ moves so wild. It is unbelievable how much GJ moves. Let me see what the 4-hour did on EU. So remember what I was saying, that potential new higher low, potential keep going bullish. This could be another higher low here. If you wanted to be safe, just place buy stops like here. Maybe here. Above this one. Let's go look at the 15-minute time frame, see what that looks like. I don't know if I like that, honestly. But if we're going to keep going up, then if we were going to break this zone here, we're definitely going to keep pushing up. And this is major, major, major EMA distance. Major EMA distance for bullish activity. Because look at the distance between that. Euro Jappy. Did I look at Euro Jappy? I did, didn't I? Yeah. So these in particular trades I don't like either, because we do have a potential wick range area that we want to fill, or we can also reject and come down here. So these are not my ideal trades if I'm looking for just a momentum and wick fill. I personally do not like this setup. That's just me. You got to be really picky if you're going for a wick fill, because you have so many opportunities. Like, see how many opportunities we have throughout the day? See here, like this is after Nikki going into London. See, we have huge engulfing candle with the wick to go fill, and look what it did. It definitely filled the wick. How many pips was that wick? The wick was 11 pips. It fulfilled the wick going down 51 pips all the way through London going into 2 a.m. Huge momentum. Huge. Let me see what else we got. Let's see what USD CAD doing. Let's see if USD CAD keeps pushing down or where it's going to go. Because we have all this EMA distance, right? What do we have? We have this little range that we can go down. We might come down here, tap the range and reject, come up. We might just consolidate for a while. This is a big drop. This is a big move already. There's a lot of potential that we could just range. CAD Jappy. No remorse from CAD Jappy right now. No remorse. This is what I was saying earlier. That might be a good opportunity to take buys, but not my ideal trade. Because when it makes the pullback, there's the liquidity, and we're up. Let's see what the 5-minute did. Major engulfing. Now that we're coming up here to this range area, this is where I'm saying that with supply and demand, it's probably going to come up here to this range, and then it's going to go right back down. Definitely seeing it go right back down. How many pips is it up? 8 pips. That's a lot of pips. That's a lot of pips. That is a lot. Let's see if you guys put anything in the questions, comments, concerns. So you stick to G. Well, the reason why I like sticking to UJ, that's a question I got. The reason why I like sticking to UJ is because UJ has a correlation with gold. So if gold's going down, UJ is going up. But for me in particularly, the reason why I like UJ is because UJ you can trade UJ at all times throughout the day because you've got New York session and Asian session. So the US the pair is moving all day long. All day long. It would be pretty much like trading CAD Jappy, I guess, because the Canadian dollar is like on that same time frame. But the when it comes to UJ, you got New York session from the morning all the way into the afternoon, and then you've got Japanese session, Asian session from the afternoon all the way till nighttime, and then you have London Open, which is the very end. So they're gonna have a last push for the Japanese yen. They're gonna want to get a last push in. So the USD Jappy is a great pair to trade all around because you have all day long to plan your attack. But then it has a negative correlation with gold, so I really like that. But I guess that same rule might apply to CAD Jappy. I just don't trade CAD Jappy because CAD Jappy is alive all day long. How many times before 4-hour close? I don't understand the question exactly. Weak. Oh, the yen is weak right now. I didn't check currency meter. Kyle, nice 10 pips from UC, like what you said. Let me go look, Oliver. Let me go look. USD CAD. Let's look. Oh, there she goes, baby. Bearish engulfing, right? Bearish engulfing, and then look at here's 10 a.m. So we know that there's going to be a push when that 4-hour candle opens. We know it, right? We know it. I know it. And look at the push. That's a perfect scalp. 14 pips, guys. That's already 14 pips in the first 15 minutes. Look at how we left off. Look at this. Look at this. Already 14 pips. You're done for the day. Why do you need to trade anymore? We know the 4-hour candle is about to open. We know the 4-hour candle makes a push. However many pips you want, whatever your range is, that's for you to decide. I go for 10 pips a position. That's just me. If it keeps going, run your stop loss and profit, right? Run your stop loss and profit. Look at her go. Look at her go. Look at the EMA distance. Bearish engulfing. She needs to come back down and tap the zone. That's where she needed to go back down to. Not needed, but needed. You know what I mean? Because price can still do whatever it wants. Like it's NFP. Like price can just like come here, leave a wick, and just go boo all the way up here. You're like, why did price do that? Oh yeah, it's NFP week. You know what I mean? Price will literally do whatever it wants. But when we know price is going to make a push, for the most part around those 4-hour time frame candles. So Look for what you know. Look for what you know. And after, look at what happened here. We have EMA distance, right? Boom, 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 boom. Consolidation, a nice pullback. Where did we pull back to? Like, we literally came right back to here. This was a nice zone to come retap for supply and demand. If we got premium price, this was right at 930. And this is right at 945. So you definitely can see that the momentum is there. And then we have the new 4-hour candle opening. So boom, what happened after this engulfing candle? Let's look at the 5-minute. The 5-minute might have like 2-2s. Nope, just straight engulfing. But the 5-minute did have a 2-1 confirm right here. This ended up being a 2-1 confirm right here. Because we had the higher high. This is lower low, and now lower high. For 2-1 failed to break. Boom. Since then, what do we have? How many more pips do you want? Honestly, like risk-free trading. This is at 9:35, like right when I started the webinar, basically. Since I started the webinar, we've dropped 34 pips. What more do you want? What more do you want? Honestly. Than 34 pips. That's so many pips, guys. I never catch 34 pips. Not off a single entry. It's very rare. It's very rare. Why? Because I'm usually done right here. Because why not? Why not catch 10 pips and be done? Why not? Be consistent at catching 10 pips. Then you open up 5 entries, now you got 50 pips. Open up 10 entries, now you got 100 pips. Now you leave stop loss in profit. Oh, now it goes down another 20 per position. Okay, we just caught 400 or 500 pips today off of 10 entries. That's it. That's insane momentum. Let's go look at what the other pairs are doing. GJ, following that momentum. Another bullish engulfing. Not my ideal setup or trade, but we do have higher highs and higher lows right here. So it's showing that we have all this untested chart to go to. But according to the 4-hour, not the prettiest. Oh, but wait, what did I say? The higher low here for bullish activity, right? Higher time frame. We closed above resistance. This is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We failed to break. Anything goes though. But you could definitely see, even if you're going to trade right when the 4-hour candle open, I'm already done. I'm already done. Let's look at CAD Jappy. Oh! Dang, look at that. Look at that. 14 pips. 14 pips. 14 pips. Amazing. Right when that 4-hour candle opened, boom, you're done. Next, EU. Let's look at EU. EU wasn't pretty. EU looks to be making lower lows and lower highs, right? We are on support now. We are on this zone here. I definitely see a potential another lower high to keep pushing down, but let's see what the higher time frames say. Let's look at the 1-hour. The 1-hour, oh yeah, look at how engulfing that 1-hour is. I definitely see bearish activity on EU. Look at how the 1-hour closed below support, right? Let's look at the 4-hour. Let's just kind of see. Definitely see. Look how after. Remember we talked about we tapped that zone, that major. That was a pretty nice zone here, right? We tapped the zone. We finished off pretty engulfing. This can definitely be a pullback for liquidity just to keep dropping more. Because what did it do? Potentially go for more liquidity before it drops down. Let's look at UJ. Did we even look at UJ again? Oh yeah, we looked at UJ because it made that huge push. Huge push. That was right here. Now we're kind of like, now we're like fuzzy. Like, where do we go? I would definitely say that we're going more up. I would definitely say we're going up. Just by looking at UJ, now we're creating that nice consolidation box, right? Now we got more wicks. Now we got more wicks. We might not be done with those wicks. Wicks might come up to here. Right? Definitely a huge possibility that UJ is going to keep going up to the high side. just by looking at that 4 hour, right? 4 hour momentum. Look how strong the momentum is. So we see nice pullback. So if I'm looking for buys, if I'm buy bias and I'm looking for buys, this range right here is my potential stop loss range, right? This is my potential stop loss range right down here. If I'm buy bias, we might come down here and range some more. But if I enter to buy right now, hypothetically, right now, let's just say, this is where my stop loss range would be. This is where my stop loss range would be. In a consolidation time, I don't like it as much. I don't take trades like that. But I don't take trades based off trend lines either. I don't like ever use trend lines, but for the sake of understanding, I put some trend lines up because they're kind of cool. But I don't use those as signals. EJ, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? We still pushing high? Probably. A nice distance, a nice rejection. Maybe want to go retest this range area. Absolutely. USD CAD came down, tapped that zone. Right from that 4 hour candle. Look at how many pips. That was 16 pips, one push. Shoot. That's a big push. That's in 15 minutes after the 10 hour candle, the 4 hour candle open. 15 minutes, you have all your profit for the day. That's how these 4 hour candles work. Hey, can I ask you a favor? Can you warm this? I forgot I even had the coffee here. Just like 20 seconds. Thanks, dude. CAD Jappy. Oh, sorry, there it is. CAD Jappy finally reached it. This is probably where the pullback comes. We finally reached it. Let me go look in the chats and let me see what you guys have said. Let me see. USD CAD. I'm glad you said glad. I had that thinking also. I'm a new trader. Awesome. I like to think that everybody's a new trader. Even when you're an experienced trader, you're a new trader. Why? Because you have always something to learn. If you don't think you have something to learn, you've already lost consistency. Yep, 15 pips from UC, Marley. Absolutely. UJ gonna fill the 4 hour wick? Let's go look. Let's look. Is UJ gonna fill the 4 hour wick? Is UJ gonna fill that 4 hour wick? I can definitely see price coming back up here. I think we talked about that a little bit after the strong momentum. The thing is when price, like we have this nice engulfing candle here, and you see how we closed below this? That tells me one or two things. This could potentially be like a lower high, and we might come all the way down here later. I don't necessarily like these trades as much. That's just personal. I just personally don't like them that much. But if you look at the 15-minute time frame and you say, hey, are we going bullish to fill the wick? Like I said earlier, well, we definitely have this range that we can come back to, right? We definitely have this whole range that we can come back to. So just hunt your entries. Like if you trade off trend lines, like look, we come up here, we tap the trend line, right? So we're already up 6 pips if you sold from the trend line tap. Like, okay, boom, there it is again. Okay, we tapped it again. Rejection, right? And you're already 6 pips. So just hunt the way, like you guys trade the way you trade. Like everybody trades their own way. All you can do is take from other people. Like my trading style is literally a combination of this. Kyle's trading style, right? Who did Kyle learn from? Personally, I didn't personally learn like the most amazing things from any single person. I learned a lot from Uncle Ted. What I learned mostly from Uncle Ted is, this is going to sound interesting, but it's humility and trading sessions. And thank you, babe. I spell psychology wrong every single time. It's the funniest thing. This is what I learned a lot from Uncle Ted, was humility, the way that he treats human beings. That has a lot to do with trading plan, guys. It has a lot to do with trading plan. Like what Rakeel said in his session, in his signs video. Like, what kind of person are you, right? And then trading sessions. Like Uncle Ted is very famous for saying, trade one pair, one session every day, right? So one pair, one session every day. That really helped me when I started paying attention to Uncle Ted saying that. That's when I only started trading USD Jappy, right? Who else did I learn? Raquel. What did I learn from Raquel? 4-hour Wick Fills. Right? Like nobody ever talked about Wick Fills besides Raquel. Like Raquel started talking about a Wick Fill, and like I started listening to what a Wick Fill was, but then it took me like a year to be like, oh my gosh, a Wick Fill is very powerful. So what do we got? 4-hour Wick Fills. Right? Wick Fills, Wick Fills, Wick Fills. We got Damiano. Where did I learn? This is, if you don't know who Damiano is, it's Invictus FX. Amazing trader. By far one of the best. By far. What I learned from Damiano, I learned market structure. I learned I learned like I learned what the 2 2s were, and then I kind of threw in my own version, which were the 2 1s. I kind of threw my own little 2-1 like trend change thing in there, so I kind of made it my own little thing. But once I found a video about Damiano on YouTube, and he was talking about like higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, like it put into perspective how the market moves, and that changed everything for me. Who else did I learn from? What else did I learn from? I learned from shoot. Oh, Kevin. Kevin. What did I learn from Kevin? Nikki session. London session. Right? I didn't learn like a lot about London session, but Kevin trades literally like the same sessions, the same times every single day. So I learned what Nikki session was from Kevin. So Nikki session is a session during Asian. It's not a session, it's a market. Nikki market open is a session during Asian. So I learned a lot from Kevin because that gave me a basis of a time that I can trade. He taught me a time that I can trade, right? And then who else? I mean, I learned from all kinds of different people, but for the most part, like I'm a combination of many different traders. Just a combination of many different traders. So everybody is going to see and trade those charts differently. Let's look at what UJ is doing. Let's look at the 4-hour. I mean, I guess we don't need to look at the 4-hour. It hasn't done anything. Nothing else really to look at, right? EU, another little pullback. EJ, more bullish momentum, right? What do we got? More higher highs and higher lows. Another higher high, higher low right here. Maybe, if you're like a trendline expert, this would have been a good signal for you. But you can definitely see after this bullish engulfing that here's the pullback. And then what do we have? We're up 13 pips. Even if you enter like just like right here, let's say, you're still up 6 pips, 7 pips. That's huge. GU, not a lot of movement right now. We don't have the British pound alive right now. The US dollar is the only thing making this pair move nice. What do we got? USD CAD. It's not really moving. It's more of a standstill, but we already talked about it. GJ, still kind of pushing, right? Still kind of pushing up 12 pips now. Or I guess it's just retesting. CAD Jappy. CAD Jappy came and fulfilled this triple top. Huge gap in between EMAs. So if you're hunting buys, a big thing I do, if I'm hunting, like if I'm like, okay, we're bullish, right? Like this is the difference between like hunting trades and just waiting for like a 4-hour push. Is if I'm trading and I'm using these EMAs nice, I can definitely see we had a huge rejection here, right? Huge since like 3 a.m. Huge gap. So if I'm hunting for buys, I'm waiting for price to come down to maybe the 50 EMA or the 14 EMA. So in this case, if I was awake at this time, like right when I wake up, you can see we go down and tap the 14 EMA. And then what did it do? It launched 36 pips. That's huge. Huge. But then here we touch the 50. Boom, we come back up. We touch the 50 again. What did it do? in that time frame since we've been on the call talking, 37 pips. 37 pips. That is incredible. That is an incredible amount of pips, guys, if you're scalping. So for me, I'm going to look for things like 50 EMA taps, 14 EMA taps, right? Let's look at GJ. No, that's not a good one. Here's Confluence, right? Here's Confluence. What do we have? 14 EMA tap, right? 14 EMA tap, right? In between, 50 EMA tap. If we keep pulling down bearish, which I definitely see us keep going down bearish, this EMA will probably be sitting on this. If we keep pulling down, it would turn into a 50 EMA tap, even though it didn't touch the 50 EMA. It wasn't like clean like this. You can see this definitely tapped it. Move faster. EU. Here's another one. We have a cross, right? So what do we have? We have rally, base, rally. We have another base, rally, right? Now we got another base, potential another rally. But what do we have? We have EMA distance after this huge cross, right? Huge rejection, EMA retest, and what did it do? It comes back down, touches the EMA, and then what does it do? Goes up 21 pips. Like, how many more pips do you want? And then it makes it overall higher low. And how much does it go up? 32. That's too many pips for me in one day, I'll tell you that much. Too many pips. Sometimes I wish I was a better trader where I can hold on. But I just close at 10 because I've held on to too many trades where they're like, oh, they're going to 20. And then it goes to like 15 and I don't close, and then it reverses and I take home 0 or I lose. Because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to keep holding it. It's going to keep going. Nope. This is a little thing that sticks by me and it's in my trading plan. You guys might like this. Price never keeps going. It never keeps going. Eventually we're going to hit that supply and demand zone, that support and resistance zone, and guess what's going to happen? It's going to freaking reverse on you. So, have a trading plan. If you're a scalper, if you're scalping, have a trading plan. I want this many pips. This is how many pips I want. How are you going to get those pips? You got to know the distance between your support and resistance is. You got to know where that 4-hour momentum is. Just trust the process. That's another good one. I think I learned that from Uncle Ted. Trust the process. Just trust it. Leave room to pull back. Right? Like if we're bullish, if we're still bullish, hypothetically, let's just say like this is resistance. Not the best time to buy because we definitely have a lot of time to come down. But let's say you enter a buy right here. Right? Let's just say I bought right here. In fact, let's say we bought here, like when I was saying to take a buy. Right here. Right? On the little pullback. Okay, we're taking buys here. Well, if I'm taking a buy right here, my stop loss, this might sound nuts, but my stop loss is going to be here, around this wick range area, or down here. So if you're a swing trader, and you'd say, wow, 26 pips, like, or a scalper, wow, 26 pips, that's a lot of pips that we're going to be in drawdown. Well, let's look at the higher time frame and let's see where those destinations are that we can be going. If we're still going bullish, look at this whole wick range area. We haven't even touched, we tapped this, but we might want to go back. So if we're like, oh, we're going to lose, well, look how many pips it goes up. 34, 27. So if we're looking at these lower time frames, we're just getting an idea of a stop loss wick range area. Because I definitely see price doing a little bit of a consolidation before another rally, before or another base before a rally. Definite possibility. But when you're scalping, you just got to hunt your entries on how you want to trade. So we tap this again. I wouldn't doubt it if we come down for a retracement. It wouldn't be surprising to me if we came back down for a retracement. We got a third tap on a trend line, right? Third tap, we can come back down and retest the EMA. Trust the process. Just do what works out for you guys. Because what I do might not work for you. What you do probably definitely won't work out for me. There's a lot of people that are trading with like a lot of EMAs, Bollinger Bands. Like I think they are just dumb, but they do it. They're paying their bills. I'm not paying their bills. Everybody has a different process, so trust your process. Let me go to the chats. Let me see what's going on. What time is it? Oh, it's about time. It's only 10:30. Damn. Yeah, UJ looks dirty right now. Yeah, it's too dirty. It's not nice for me. Yep. So you trade at 6 your time. Are you in the USA? Yes, I'm in USA. Yes, that is 6 a.m. my time. I learned spread EMAs equal reversals and support and resistance is garbage from Nemo Profits. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. Nemo is garbage. I joined VTN. That's what Nemo said. He said support and resistance is garbage. How can you say that? Like, support and resistance is literally like the basis of trading. Kyle, on the EMA tabs, do you wait for that candle to close? Oliver, that's a great question. So it goes hand in hand because if we're looking at like an EMA tap, right? Let me close this. If we're looking for an EMA tap, let me see if I can find an example. We might just have like a wick. Like, you see how it's coming down? So as soon as it starts tapping it, I might get ready for buys because it might keep going, so I might enter more buys. So I don't necessarily wait for the candle to close if I'm looking for like an EMA tap because we might come down and tap it just like this did, and then it can just reverse and go the opposite way. So if I am hunting those EMA taps, the answer is I don't always wait for candles to close, but you definitely want to wait for candles to close. That's definitely a rule of thumb. So when you have like this big of an EMA distance, like that first tap is usually a good tap to keep going, right? Let's look at what that looks like. This one was a news push probably. I don't know what happened this morning. This was all the way down to the 50 EMA. Wouldn't have been as nice right here. But if we were trading based off of higher highs and higher lows this morning, we can definitely see that we have lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We have 2-2 confirm for bearish. I think we covered that already. And then it dropped down 40. So we're not looking for buys. We were looking for sells from the way that the confirm was moving. EU, GJ. GJ's probably still going. Nope. Pulling back just a little bit. There's CAD Jappy's pullback, right? We tapped the EMA or the trend line. How many pips did it go down so far? Already 10 pips. Like, it doesn't look like a lot, but this is what people don't understand. Like they think, oh, 10 pips is nothing. Well, 10 pips is a damn lot of pips. If you're trading on big lot sizes, how can you say 10 pips is not big? Like, if you're trading on 5.0 lots, that's $50 a pip. You catch 10 pips, that is a few $100. That's a lot of money. Who makes that in like 15 minutes? Who makes like $600 in 15 minutes? Who? Unless you're like Steve Jobs, who makes like 100K like a minute or whatever. I don't even know. Incredible amount from residuals from companies. But who do you know that makes like $600 an hour or 15 minutes? If you're making $600 in 15 minutes, that means you're going to be making. Jeez, I don't even know how to do that math. I'm so bad at this stuff. Let's just do the 600 times 4. But that was the 15, so that was a quarter. So that's around $3,000 an hour. Who do you know that makes $3,000 an hour? If you can catch a push like this for a 10 pip retracement, who do you know that makes $3,000 an hour? I'll answer that for you. No one. Don't underestimate the amount of pips you're shooting for. Don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate it. Just like what I said. Look at what happened. Supply and demand. Huge engulfing. Yes, we tapped the trend line. I'm not about trend lines, but for the sake of the video and for the sake of scalping, you can see we have a third tap on a trend line. Where do you think it's going? Well, it's gotta consolidate if we're gonna keep going up. That's how supply and demand works. We got premium price, now we're pulling back down. Since the drop, look, 8 pips. If you caught it way up here, 12 pips. But what did I say? I said we're going to come up, we're going to tap the zone, and we're going to come right back down. That's just how supply and demand works. That is just how supply and demand works. So if I'm going to take a retracement like this, I'm literally closing, and I'm either done or I'm leaving stop loss and profit, and I'm just letting I'm setting a TP maybe at this range, because I'm still buy bias on this. I'm still pretty buy bias on CAD Jappy. 4 hour higher time frame momentum. I'm still pretty buy bias with all this momentum here. To keep pushing. But anyways, this is what I do. This is how I trade. This is literally how I trade. Like this morning, or like I didn't actually trade today, but right now, if I was trading, if we were focused on just one pair, CAD Jappy would have been that nice pair, right? After this huge engulfing, just falling momentum, 16 pips. People ask me all the time, Kyle, how long does it take for your profits to come? Like, how long are you usually in a trade? Well, within the first two 15-minute candles. That's what happens when you trade the 4 hour momentum push. That's literally what happens. What happened? First candle, boom, 16 pips, in and out, done. Look at where it did. It tapped the zone, right? What did I tell you? I just told you guys the exact same thing. We have supply and demand. We're going to come back down here, tap the zone, and we're going to make another retracement. Why? Because that's how supply and demand works. It's going to keep on doing a consolidation before it's ready for the next breakout. We have a nice EMA distance. We have a very nice EMA distance. So this range up here would be my stop loss range. So like, let's say I'm stacking sales right now. Okay, I stack sales. Well, here's my stop loss. And then let's look at the 4 hour though. Let me make sure that we're 4 hour bias because I don't remember. Ooh, this is the one I was talking about. Nope, never mind. Not a good signal. Not telling you guys anything. I don't like this because this is the exact same thing that I said earlier. Exact same thing. The reason why I don't like these is because we can have a lot of rejection and then we can just have a launch, right? So what do? We pulled down. We filled the wick. We tried to fill the wick already. So there was that wick fill. But then we can definitely see a retracement. So we can definitely come up to 2925, right? So another 30 pips bullish area. It might come back and make an overall lower high. We might come back down to this. You can definitely see like this premium price range, right? Like price coming back to here. We can definitely come back to here to make a lower high to keep going down. But these setups are not in particularly what I like. I don't like these. It can still keep pushing down. I could be wrong. Like I'm fine with being wrong. I'm really fine with being wrong. But I'm just saying I don't like those in particular setups. We do have a lot going for us with the EMA distance though. But how does supply and demand work? We're going to be bouncing between that support and resistance. Right now we got a third tap on a support. So what do? Buy support. How many pips? Let's say if we traded that. Done. we're done. Two 15-minute candles right here. 14 pips. I'm done. Why would I trade anymore if I caught 14 pips per position? Why? Even if you catch 5 pips per position, like close, like if you're comfortable with 5, I'm comfortable with 5 pips a position. That's a lot of pips, honestly, with scalping. But anyways, guys, I think that I think I've came to the time that I'm about ready to get off. Let's just do a little pip count on CAD Jappy. Let's just see how much it dropped already. There you go, 11 pips done. Actually, let's do it from like right here, a little bit lower. Still pretty much done. 10 pip mark, pretty much got hit. That would have been my scalp right here. Just like I said, guys, we're going to come up. We're going to tap this area, and we're going to go right back down. And what do? Right back down. So I'm gonna cut it just a little bit early. I do have some more things. That's why I haven't been doing webinars. I've been like, like they say, when it rains, it pours, and it's been pouring. So I'm trying to just read. I'm trying to read a little bit more. I need to read a little bit more books. So I've been reading a little bit more. Um, just I need to focus on me a lot. I've been focusing too much on everybody else. I put no time into me, and it's catching up. So I'm just doing my best. But anyways, guys, thanks for like staying tuned. Let me go to the message board. Let me see if you guys. I think we lost a few people. Something I noticed for UJ is that the 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern is usually continuation of 7 a.m. momentum. I believe that, honestly. Yeah, that's huge. Like, if you notice that, absolutely. So, a little trick that I do on trading is, like, if I don't have confirmation by 6 a.m., usually by 7 a.m., that new 1 hour candle is going to have a continuation of momentum. Retrace it between 8 and 9. London traders take off profits so New York traders can get better entries and continue. I like that. But anyways, guys, thanks for staying tuned. It's a good webinar, like hour and like 10 minutes, a little bit less than I usually do. I usually go for like hour and a half, 2 hours, but I got a little bit to do. So thanks for staying tuned. Um, Next Monday, I should have that other webinar. I might do another webinar this week, just because like I miss you guys, I miss everyone, so I want more people to kind of get a little bit more knowledge in there. But anyways, I'm gonna close this down. I will upload it to YouTube so more people can watch it. You can rewatch it if you need to learn something. You can relearn it. Anyways, thanks, guys.